Hi, Dr. Karen Can here. Welcome to another edition of the Spiritual Medicine Digest for the week of March 11th, 2019. So the news for this week is that we are still in the throes of feeling some energies from mass consciousness if you are a sensitive soul. Interestingly, the mass consciousness we're feeling is not necessarily only contained in this reality, in this timeline. It can be in this reality in alternate timelines. And why is that? Well, it's because ascension has made us much more able to be multidimensional and also able to feel things from other realities, which is pretty cool, but at the same time pretty difficult if you don't know how to manage your sensitivity superpowers. And that's something that I'm passionate about helping people do, those that are sensitive souls. So just keep in mind that if you happen to do some divine muscle testing and you're feeling out of sorts, just check in to say, whose stuff am I feeling? And if it's not 100% your stuff, you as in this body and this timeline, just check this week whether or not any of those symptoms have to do with mass consciousness, either in this timeline or in other timelines. And if that is the case, then you can do a couple of different things. You can go ahead and send healing, as we teach in Topocan healing, level 1 training. You can go ahead and send healing to whatever the other is that you're feeling, in this case mass consciousness, or you can ask to be disengaged from feeling their stuff or contain those energies so that you don't have to feel them. And there's lots of different things that you can do, and that's what I'm passionate about as a doctor of light medicine, is helping sensitive souls really harness their superpowers and hone it so they don't have to feel everything that isn't necessarily for their highest and greatest good to feel in the moment. But just keep in mind that we keep getting more sensitive as the ascension process occurs, as the Earth's vibrational field increases. And it's a good thing. It's a really good thing. It's just that sometimes we have to, kind of rein in some of those gifts. Speaking of reining in, what we've noticed is that parts of our energetic selves, not necessarily the physical yet, but the energetic parts of us, it could be like, for example, the heart line or the chakras, or even the chi or vitality that runs through our channels, that these are being upgraded at a very quick and fast pace. And some people who are sensitive souls can actually feel when that happens, and it can be intense. Other times you don't even notice it. But what's really interesting is that after these upgrades occur, oftentimes the energetic body needs to rebalance itself and to recalibrate itself, sort of like getting a new if you have an iPhone, a brand new update, an iOS update, or if you're a PC, you have a Windows update. It's sort of like that. Bugs are fixed, things work better, but what do you need to do afterwards, after the new download is, done? Well, you need to reboot your system, right? So it's sort of like that. Now, for those of you that have been in my autoimmune healing secrets program for sensitive souls, we actually had a reset and reboot 2.0 program, so that every day you can go ahead and do this reset and reboot. And I have personally found it extremely valuable to do that reset and reboot every single day. Now, the third thing I want to share with you is a particular upgrade. The Universal Shield, which I kind of regret using the word shield, because some people feel like we shouldn't need to be shielded to anything. If our vibration is so high and beautiful and light, we don't need a shield, and that is absolutely true. However, in the meantime, before we get into, or before people can get into being 100% truth, love, and light in all aspects of themselves and all dimensions, etc., sometimes this shield is very helpful. So the Universal Shield, which I co-created with the universe years ago, it includes what we call a vibrationally enhancing vortex, or clearing vortex of source light, a very powerful vortex that clears negative energies, including entities and weapons and curses and all those kinds of things. Now, just keep in mind, if it's for your highest and greatest good to have a particular negative thing because you need to know about it or understand it or acknowledge something, learn from it, then this is not going to work for you for that particular thing until which time you acknowledge it or learn whatever you need to learn. So it's not going to supersede what your soul mission is or what your soul experience asked for, etc. But it is, however, a very powerful enhancing, light enhancing vortex that is within the universal shield. I won't go into details of, how many different places it is and where we put it, sleep realms, etc., etc. But I just wanted you to know that I recently downloaded an automatic alignment activator, which is a positive morphic field that will continue upgrading this quote unquote universal shield and vibrationally enhancing vortex based on how source is expanding. So as source is expanding and we are getting higher and higher light, then these particular tools also get expanded with higher and higher light as well. And so my tools are always being expanded in regular times, and nothing seems to stay the same, which makes it kind of tricky sometimes when you're trying to teach something because it doesn't really stay the same. But on the other hand, well, what are we here for? We're here for evolution, right? So it is what it is. So I just wanted to let you know there has been a recent upgrade to this vibrationally enhancing vortex. So in case you have any of my, product MP3s like Ascension 1 or 2 or Deep Healing, Awaken Your Superpowers, etc., that those are already automatically enhanced. You don't need to re-download anything to take advantage of that. So that'll give you some extra light and protection. So a couple of announcements. Number one is I'm super excited. On Monday for my Light Warrior Radio show, my friend Deb Sloan is going to be on the show. Now, we had a cancellation kind of last minute, and what was really exciting is I just knew that it had to be for the highest good, and Deb stepped in, and I'm so happy because I met Deb through the Wellness Leadership Academy, and she is a radiant resiliency expert. Sorry about that, Deb. I haven't memorized that yet. And she helps families going through cancer. And this is very special because a lot of times when families go through, cancer diagnosis, they are kind of left to kind of deal with life. They go to the doctor's office and, we see our patients for what, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, even an hour. And then you're left to be on your own, and, all you have is maybe other people with stories of cancer, and it's a struggle. But if you have someone there to hold your hand through the process, and Deb, of course, went through it herself, what a difference it can make. So this is going to be super exciting to have her on the show to talk about, what the options are. Like once you get a diagnosis of cancer, how do you get support? And it makes such a huge difference if you have that kind of support. So call in to the radio show on Monday to get some support from Deb, especially if you or other family members have a diagnosis of cancer or someone who has it. Just, definitely refer them to the show. So I'm going to be, putting the my link below the video so that you can opt into my mailing list, because we'll be mailing everybody Sunday night with the link to the show. Also, there's a number to call in live because it's a live show this week, and you can call in live and get some one-on-one mentoring with Deb. This is a great opportunity for you. The second announcement I had was to have you mark your calendars for April 4th. I believe that's a Thursday at noon Eastern, because Tammy Mastroberte, part of Elevated Existence Telesummit, is going to be interviewing me about the Sensitive Soul SOS program. So we are going to be talking about really back to real basics here, okay? 20% of the population are highly sensitive, at least 20% according to the research, and in my observation, a heck of a lot more than 20% these days are highly sensitive. And so these are people having difficulty with literally like too many people in a room or too much noise or, the smell of fumes, could be sensitive to, allergies and allergens and, things like that, but emotionally sensitive as well. And I've noticed with the young people, well, not just the young people, but in particular the young people becoming more and more sensitive or being born more and more sensitive, there is absolutely no training in this field. They are gifted, and instead they get medicated, with all sorts of psychiatric medications. And I have to admit, I feel sad about that, because if someone knew what they were doing and could train these people to use their sensitivity as a superpower instead of suffering from them, then it would make a huge difference. They wouldn't have to medicate to drown out their natural gifts of awareness. Yeah, natural gifts of awareness and intuition. The drugs drown them out so they symptomatically feel better. But if someone were there to teach them and train them how to harness this gift, how to turn it off, how to turn it on, when to use it, when not to use it, how to know it's your stuff or not your stuff, all that kind of stuff that I love to teach, okay, then we wouldn't have, 6.1 or whatever it is million children, you know, on, diagnosed with ADHD on drugs. So that's my personal, opinion about that. So I think as humans, we're becoming more evolved. And sometimes when we become more evolved, we become more sensitive. And that is something that most people don't talk about. Somehow we tell these sensitive people to stop being so sensitive, to just like buck up, like learn to have tougher skin. And I'm like, that is not the way the world is evolving. We are evolving more empathy and more sensitivity. And our world, physical world, is not reflecting what these people need. So that's why I'm super passionate about this whole, helping sensitive souls harness their superpowers. So I'm going to be launching a new program called Sensitive Soul SOS. It's a foundational program. So that means it's fairly short and it's sweet, but it's effective and powerful. When people first get started, especially, and they're not necessarily energy healers or anything like that, but they know they're missing something, it's like we give you really fast results on how to feel more calm, more clear, more connected. And then when you feel more calm, clear, and connected, then you become more connected to not only yourself, who you really are, but your soul's mission, so you can fulfill your mission. How are you going to fulfill your mission if you feel like crap all the time? You know what I mean? So this is a great program, especially for people just starting out. It's a low-cost program. And it's going to be doing there is some energy clearing and training on that. And a lot has to do with awareness of what in your environment is causing or contributing to your problems and how to discern those kinds of things and how to clear it. So we're going to help you connect to you, the you in here, the source of all creation, in the most efficient way that I know how, for clairsentients, which are sensitive souls who feel a lot, and then we're going to help you clear negative energies, things that you don't want from your energy field. And so I'm going to give you Topocan healing and non-Topocan healing strategies, tried and true methods on how to do clearing multiple different ways for yourself, so you can feel sovereign and you can feel good and not feeling other people's stuff. And then lastly, we're going to help you create a personalized prescription for sensitive soul wellness. So I'm super excited about that. So April 4th, join me for that free interview on Elevated Existence Telesummit. And if you have not already registered for the Telesummit, I'm going to put the link below this video so you can register right away and you take advantage of some of the other interviews that are going on before that date. All right, until next time, lots of love. Bye for now.